They cheered. Everybody in the chamber, Democrats and Republicans, cheered when the president said that the Mexican cartels responsible for fentanyl coming to the United States are now going to be characterized as terrorist organizations. I joined in that cheering because I know what fentanyl is doing to this country. We have a bill coming before us this morning. It will extend the coverage of fentanyl analogues, which in chemical terms means somewhat related to fentanyl, but not directly. They're going to be put into category, a dangerous category, as they should be. We've extended that over the years. I don't think that's enough to end the fentanyl crisis. I think we need to do more, but it is a good start, and to continue this classification, I will support. I think we should have considered some amendments to this bill in the Judiciary Committee, and that's why I voted against it in committee. But I've consistently supported extending this definition of fentanyl to include analogs, and I'll do it again when it comes to the floor. But that isn't enough. We can't stop the fentanyl crisis simply by repeating what we've been doing for the last 6 years. We've got to be innovative and thoughtful. Do you want to stop the cartels? There are lots of ways to do it. Sign me up for going after this terrorist organization, and it is a terrorist organization. But don't overlook the fact that we are complicit in arming these cartels with weaponry. 40% of the weapons that have been recovered in many raids in Mexico of the cartels, 40% of those weapons come from where? The United States of America. We are selling deadly weapons to these cartels that they are using to kill police and soldiers in Mexico. If this is truly a terrorist organization, and I believe it is, it should be treated as such. Let us put an end once and for all to Americans who are selling these high-powered weapons into Mexico and arming the cartels so that they can fight law enforcement in that country. That is inconsistent with the goal of ending fentanyl in the United States. It's a real test. The firearms industry is pretty powerful in Congress, but can we say once and for all that when it comes to fentanyl and Mexican cartels, we are not going to be the source of the arsenal for them to fight law enforcement around the world. We're going to stop that. We should do it and do it immediately. The second thing we ought to consider is that 80% of the fentanyl is coming through the internet. It may be coming over the border initially, but it gets to our kids and young people through the internet. So what are we going to do with those social media sources when it comes to the sale of drugs, and particularly drugs laced with fentanyl? Will they be held responsible? Not under current law. Section 230 of our federal law absolves them from any responsibility for misconduct in selling drugs over the internet, even fentanyl, and that has got to end. Section 230 may have made sense 10 or 20 years ago. It doesn't make any sense any longer. They have to be part of the solution to the problem with fentanyl. So it isn't just the analogs, and it isn't just the support of the Mexican cartels. We've got to get serious about social media as a source of selling drugs, and particularly drugs laced with fentanyl. They've got to be part of the solution. I yield the floor.